It's time for your board game dessert, folks. It's game pie time. Of course, game pie is when Mandy and I serve up a selection of games curated by our good taste and our whims. We don't like to do top fives, top tens, or anything like that because ranking things is hard. But we love pastry and we love grouping things, hence a game pie. And the game pie of the day is a supersized pie. We've got a supersized game pie because it's Essen anticipation time.
Yes, you should have said Costco size game pie.
Oh, duh, that's brilliant. Oh, darn it.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah, and actually, my friends Jason and Carrie came over for a game day recently, and they brought over a whole Costco chocolate peanut butter cream pie.
Oh, I don't think I've
So
ever had
good.
that before.
Oh, it's so
Is that a
good.
thing?
Anyway.
Now I'm like, wait, now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, is that a thing?
It is, and it's delicious. But anyway, Essen pie. Yes, Essen Costco size pie. So normally game pie is, 3-ish, so rounded up to 4 games.
Yeah.
But this time we've got double size pie. So let's get to it, Mandy. So many games. And I gotta say, this was real tough. I could have done a quadruple
ton.
size pie. I could have. I was cutting games left and right, and what I ended up with is almost, I feel bad. It's almost a little overly arbitrary because there were so many games I'm excited about. So we'll see.
Yeah, yeah. No, there were definitely a few, and I kind of just was like, I cut them out, but I'm sure we'll talk about them at a later time. So you know what? Let's just jump right in because there are just so many.
Hmm.
I'm gonna start with, and please tell me if I'm pronouncing this wrong. Islet?
That's how I would say
That's
it.
how I
Yeah.
would say it. Okay, I just want to
Yeah.
make sure because I'm like, that's how I've always said it, but maybe I'm wrong. So Islet by Two Tomato Games, and just to be clear, a lot of my choices are based on cover design and just a quick synopsis saying, "Ooh, it has these keywords." I mean, there were a lot, so I just kind of went with that. But Islet actually looks very pretty, and it has, the foliage and some birds and like a really nice colors. It's like muted but bright. I don't know how to explain that. And it literally is about a tropical bird seeking to nest on a small islet in the middle of the ocean. And it is considered like an abstract strategy type game, some exploration. And I think it's just one of those games where it talks about spawning eggs. So I think. Yeah, I was gonna say something and I just realized how inappropriate that might have gone. So let me stop there and just saying I think
Woo!
being in different areas is a good thing in this particular game. So Islets by Two Tomato Games. Wow. Yeah, it looks cute.
It looks really beautiful and could have gone on my list. All right, first slice up for me is Arabella from
Ah.
Side Quest Games. I almost didn't do this one because I backed this on
Yeah. I was
GameFound,
gonna
I
say, didn't
think.
we both
So,
back?
yeah, we backed it. So I don't, maybe I should have taken it off. I don't know. Oh,
No, it's a good
but
one.
it's a 8 quote unquote 18xx roll and write, which sounds amazing to me.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very, very excited. Actually, now I do feel like I'm cheating. So maybe I should put a
No,
different
I
game
don't think
on.
so because honestly,
Mm,
we backed it. It was so long ago, and it's coming to Essen,
it
and
was.
I feel like not a lot of people actually will know about this one. So no, I think you should totally talk about it.
Maybe, maybe not. So Arabella, 18xx roll and write. Check it out from SideQuest Games.
All right, yeah. Well, I mean, we backed it, so I'm looking forward to that one. So next
Yes.
on my list cannot be complete without a game from Aporta Games. I feel like that's a Suzanne and I thing. We always have at least one of their games on our list,
Love a Porta,
and
yeah.
I know Suzanne has one. I have one. Tucana Builders,
Yes.
and they had another one. Was it what was Trails of Tucana? Was the one I think we
Yeah,
had
Trails of
played.
Tucana is the flip and right. Yeah, roll and
Right.
write.
Yeah, which we had played at one of our earlier lessons, and we had a really good time with that game, and this is apparently the sequel to that game. So, definitely looking forward to seeing, it's more vibrant in color. I'm really checking to see, if it's more puzzly, if it plays in a similar kind of gameplay. All in all, really excited to try Tucana Builders.
And to be clear, it's not a roll and write. It's like a
Sorry.
tile lane, right?
Yeah, so Tucana Builders is that exactly that. So it's like it falls into that like puzzle building, but yeah, it has tile laying and it definitely just the vibe in general actually looks different. Like the colors are brighter.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
but yes, and it's supposed to be very easy to teach. So we'll see how that goes.
Ooh, all right. Excellent choice. Well, just lining up our choices, House of Cats. House of Cats is also from Aporta Games. I guess we're fans. That's
Meow.
just fine. Oh my gosh. Okay. That was unexpected. And House of Cats is a roll and write game. Hey, I had to go where you're filling your house with cats, mice, and dice. So I don't know. What I do know is that Aporta has like the same team is behind Riverside, which is
Mhm.
a phenomenal roll and write game. Trials of Tucana. They have a great reputation for making very strong entries in this category of games. So regardless of who the publisher is, I would be excited about this
Sure.
game. Knowing who it is, I'm super excited about. House of Cats. Do want to point out that one of the designers is William Adia as
Mm.
well, which is I don't know if he's collaborated with Aporta before, but William Adia, if you don't know that name, you should, because he is the designer of one of the best games of all time,
I was
Kalis.
gonna say it must be
So,
Kayla's.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like Aporta, roll and write, William Adia. Holy cow! I want to fly over to Essen and grab a copy right now.
Nice. Now that's definitely looks like a really fun one. Glad it's on your list because I definitely want to check it out. Next one on my list, I took kind of a turn off somewhere else here because they're going into a completely different territory. And the game I was looking at next is called Philharmonics, and this is by Arcona Games. So this
Didn't
one,
even see this one.
yeah, like when I was going through, I was like, ooh, like it's kind of cool. Okay, don't at me here, okay? But it's space orchestra manager with the Philharmonics. Like that's literally the first line. And I know what you're all gonna say, but it was like the orchestra that part me, and I'm like, the space is secondary, so that could just get me back into it. But it has it's one of those games that has some dice rolling, point allocation. It's an economic type game. It is a bigger game, and y'all know how I love to try that. And I like the theme was kind of calling to me. We'll see how the space thing goes, but I'm willing to give it a try. So Philharmonics, worker placement, space, orchestra. Kind of sounds cool.
It sounds cool to me, and I love these lists. Like there were so to be clear, folks, there were over 1,000
Yeah.
games in the preview list. So I missed this one, Mandy. I'm glad you called it out because I missed it. It sounds cool, but it is easy to miss something. There's so many games in that list,
Oh,
which is
yeah, your next one I
yeah,
think I missed, so I'm looking forward to
yeah,
hearing
exactly
about it.
right. Well, my next slice is 1902 Melie.
Mm,
19XX Games is a line of games from Lupin Games. They are small box games that pack an absolute wallop. Every single one of them is at least good. Most of them are great. So here is the next in the series. This one is, and they always have a cool theme
yeah,
too. Like, one of my favorites one is all about the channel tunnel, the channel tunnel, the
yep,
channel,
I remember that one, yeah.
right? And just always cool settings. They had one about the jazz industry, things like that. So here we have 1902 Melie, and this is about making a movie, a trip to the moon. 1902 classic, like early
Yeah,
filmmaking, right? Science fiction movie. It's a
cool.
worker placement game with that theme and that setting from this publisher. I, I, I gotta have it. Gotta have it. 1902 Melie.
Yeah, this is definitely one I missed, and it sounds super cool, so I gotta check that
It's
one
so
out as well.
cool.
Adding to the list. So my next slice of pie is, I believe, a trick-taking game, and
Ooh,
it
yeah.
is called, I think I say that, and then I'm like, "Wait, is that" yeah, it's that one. It's called Tolerance, and it's a trick-taking game, and usually, as we know, trick-taking games usually start with 3 players, so 3 to 5 players, and, but it comes with an action execution of trick cards. So this is just in the description, like I said, I didn't go into too much detail. It is a longer one, it's like a 60 to 90-minute game. And this one is published by Dragon Dawn Productions. So it is like not heavy, but it is a heavier type of game. And it takes place, literally, the theme is kind of heavy too, representing the conflict between Protestants and Catholics in the
Oh,
16th and
geez.
early 17th century.
Whoa.
But it's a trick
Whoa.
taking game. I'm like, tricks on you if you thought this was light.
No joke.
So definitely has that
Oh,
medieval kind of
cheesy.
vibe to it. But y'all know I'm a sucker for trick taking. So tolerance, looking forward to at least seeing a little bit more about how it plays.
Love it. Oh, sounds cool.
Yeah.
Heavy, but cool.
Heavy, yeah.
Alrighty. Kind of what I love about the Spiel is how diverse the offerings are
Mhm.
at Essen now. But the next one is a game that I would expect to see at Essen, and this is
Oh,
Planta Nubo
okay.
from Game Builders. And the designers on this are Michael Keller, Oda, and Uwe Rosenberg. And it's a tile and worker
Nice.
placement game. So very Euro, but with amazing design team behind it. It looks beautiful, and it looks just in that sweet spot of that heavier medium weight that I love so much. Planta Nubo from Game Builders. It's gotta happen. It's
Yeah,
just
that
gotta happen.
that one looks pretty nice
Essen
too.
classic. I feel it.
Oh, 100%. Looking forward to trying that one as well. Well, the next one on my list, my next slice of pie is it's a bit of a cheat because I've actually played it. I played it before it was announced. I just couldn't talk about it, and that is Nucleum. And
Ooh.
Nucleum is published by Board and Dice, and this is a designed by Simone Luciani and David Turksey. And the reason why I mentioned it is because I chatted with them before, so and I was taught the game by David Turksey at an event. So this game is so good. Like it's heavy, but it's
Mhm.
delicious. And it's how do you say it's like it's brass, but it's not brass? Because people are like, oh, I hate brass. It's hard to explain, but then you see something, you're like, oh yeah, like that would be a thing in brass, but it's not really brass. So just thinking about it, like you're doing kind of rail systems, and you have your nuclear areas, and you're trying to like use these systems to transport materials to like build and make things happen. I mean, it's a Turksy game, there's gonna be lots of really cool things happening. I can't, like, we're not gonna get into too much detail about it now. So good. Nucleum, if anything on this list, because I've tried this one,
Wow. Wow.
it's amazing. So it is definitely on the heavier side. So if that's not really your jam, but I even got Dan, Game Boy Geek, and he is not a heavy gamer. He loves it. So, and I'm sure he's gonna have a review up soon, so you can check out more details with that. But Nucleum, so
E- Excellent. All right.
good.
Next slice of Spiel anticipation pie for me. Taiwan Night Market.
Nice.
Yeah, this is coming from Good Game Studio with Taiwan Board Game Design Studio, which is a group that I just love. I love games out of Taiwan.
Yeah.
And this one definitely caught my eye, firstly because of the theme. And then I looked into it. I'm like, oh, it's an auction game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, auction games, I'm pretty hit or miss on. I'm going to say that up front. So I was like, oh, it's Taiwan board game and it's good. But the setting is so cool. Like the idea of a game set in this Taiwan night market with all
Right.
the food stands and,
Yep.
and sellers and things like that. And then I realized who Good Game Studio is. And my excitement rocketed it up because Good Game Studio is the group that published Veggie Stock,
Yes.
which is that card
Nice.
game that is just the simplest stock market game in the world that is completely addictive and absolutely magical. So you got me, Taiwan Night Market. I can hardly wait. And it's an auction game, and I'm so excited for it.
I backed this, and I thought you did too, but I think
Yeah, I did.
okay.
Oh, shoot, I did. Oh, there were so many games, but no, I'm glad because I want other people to find it too.
Sure.
So I'm
But
glad.
I was
I'm
like,
glad.
hold on a second. You're talking about this like you didn't get it.
Yeah.
Okay, we both got it. Just check it. All right.
Yes,
So
I backed it. You're right.
I know we're spending all the money. See, so if we can get it, y'all should check it out too. Next slice of pie for me. Well, it's not complete unless there's some kind of scary themed game on my list. So horror on the Orient Express, the board game, and this is published by Chaosium. And I apologize if I'm saying that wrong. I don't actually think I know who that is. And this
Oh,
again
yeah.
is a slightly weightier game, and it's definitely kind of like your dice horror adventure type game. I think there's some pool building that happens. It's cooperative. These I find a lot of these games generally tend to lend itself to that type of gameplay. But I mean, they're taking a spin on Orient Express, but with bloodthirsty vampires added to the mix. But I like the fact that you're getting skills, gathering items, getting clues, so it has that kind of like mystery type element, but it does have that horror theme vibe. So Horror on the Orient Express, I think it sounds kind of cool. So I mean, I'm here for it. I'm definitely interested in seeing more.
Uh, all right.
I
It
know that's
sounds
all me.
right up your alley. Yes, exactly. And that's okay. Not
Yeah.
every game has to be for every other person. All right. My next slice, I almost slipped and said it earlier because it is Siberian. That's like cyber,
Yeah.
Cyber,
Ah,
Siberian from Impatience Games. It is the next game in the Oniverse line of
right.
games. And it's been just fascinating when you look at all the Oniverse games, the different settings that they have. Sylveon's about a forest, Oniverse is about a dreamscape. We have Nautilian under the
Mhm.
ocean. Like I really love each game's kind of setting, what they bring. Here we have Siberian, and it's like a robot factory, and the illustrations I'm seeing just on the box and stuff are so charming. They
Love it.
totally work for me. I honestly don't know much about Siberian. I don't care. As soon as I saw it was going to be available, that's going to go on any list
Sure.
I have until I get this thing because I love the Oniverse line so much. So, Siberian, the next in the Oniverse line from Impatience.
I know a lot of people will be really excited
Yeah.
for this one.
Yep, for sure.
Well, the next slice of pie on my list is Rats of Worcester or Wistar. And this is published by Cranio Creations. Again, this is one of those ones where the cover just looks so pretty. It's just the colors, I think, that draw me in. But this one is a worker placement, which, if people who know me, worker placement, that's my jam. I love it. And apparently, you play the role of one of the 4 rats who organized an escape from the Wistar Institute. So I guess you're following
Ooh, intense. All
following this
right.
escape, and being a worker placement, you're probably trying to take actions to have a successful, oh my goodness, successful escape. I don't know why I was struggling to say that. But Rads of Wistar, not only does it look very pretty, but the gameplay seems kind of interesting. It is kind of on the lighter side of the games on my list. Not light, but lighter, so maybe like more medium. But definitely Cranio Creations has put out some really fun games, so I'm really interested to
Oh,
see
yeah.
how this one plays as well.
Excellent, excellent, cool.
Mm.
All right, my next slice. I've talked about before, but one of my favorite things about the Spiel, and one of the reasons why I'm so sad we don't get to go, is publishers out of the Asian region attend the Spiel that don't make the effort
Yeah,
or cannot attend conventions in the United States
right.
that I do get to go to. And the variety of games out of the different Asian countries are so cool and I look forward to them every year. I watch Tokyo Game Market very, very closely, all that kind of stuff. Well, here we are. Jelly Jelly will be at the Spiel with Wizard's Cup, which is designed by Seiji Kanai. Seiji Kanai, of course, is famously the designer
Hmm.
behind Love Letter.
Right.
Just has a talent, like a lot. Like Seiji's done a ton of different cool games, but Wizard's Cup is a card game, and I kind of have a lot of affection and respect for what Kanai does in these little card game in that niche.
Hmm.
So Wizard's Cup, completely excited. That's coming out from Jelly Jelly at the Spiel, and I hope I can find a copy of it somehow.
I know, right? So anybody listening, we're
Yeah,
willing to, if you're willing to bring some stuff back to
yeah.
Canada
If
and
you
or the US, let us know.
if we need a pack mule, a game mule.
Exactly. Call us. Well, I had a really funny joke here that I thought might not be appropriate, so we're just gonna just skip
Oh,
that
okay.
altogether. So we're talking
Oh
about
boy, I
pie.
don't.
You're eating lots of pie.
Oh boy, oh boy.
But the last game, or my last slice of pie, actually that is kind of funny in itself, is Evacuation. And this is by Delicious Games. Take
Wow.
I'm sorry, everybody. Um, so Delicious Games is known for putting out some really,
Grow up, Mandy. Grow up. You are a grown woman. My gosh.
I mean, really, it's just science. Okay. Evacuation, which is published by Delicious Games. I mean, they're known for having really good games, and I this looks like it could be something really fun. And it's designed by Vladimir Suhi, which has he's done other games that we've thoroughly enjoyed. Wow,
Shipyard, Underwater
you
Cities.
got
Yeah,
it.
just a phenomenal
And I think
designer.
they're actually redoing Shipyards at Essen. They're coming out with a new
Yeah, they
version
are.
of it.
They
So
are.
yeah, so thank you for mentioning that. Yes, this is a game that does happen to take place in the space regions. But that won't stop me because I think I might enjoy where this is going. Because I think it is a pick up and deliver, some hand management type game. Yes, there's a science fiction element, but like I said, if the game is good enough, I'm willing to overlook that point. So, Evacuation, I'm interested. I don't know how I feel about it yet just looking at it, but I feel like it was one of those games that might pleasantly surprise me just because of the designer and the publisher. So,
Yeah, the design credit alone. Yeah.
exactly. So, Evacuation is one that I'm tentatively excited about.
Awesome. Woo! All right. Last slice. We've thoroughly devoured this pie. One more piece to go, and that is Patterns, a mandala game.
Hmm.
And this is going to be part of the Lookout Spiel two-player line of games, which again, love this line of games. Love a lot of the Lookout two-player games. They're just really great Euro-y style games for two players only. And this one they have branded in the quote-unquote mandala family because mandala is a truly excellent two-player card game designed by Trevor Benjamin and Brett J. Gilbert. Well, here they have, I guess, a sibling game. This is not a card game. It's a little tile game, a token game, where you're moving pieces around, trying to do a little bit of area control or set collection somewhere in there. But Patterns is, they're branding it with Mandala. That's setting some pretty high expectations there.
Exactly.
But it's designed by Gilbert and Benjamin again. Look out, two-player line. I'm very, very excited and think it's so cool that they're expanding that kind of family of games. So
Yeah. Oh.
that is my last slice of anticipation pie. I could have added so many more,
Oh,
Mandy.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Me too, but, we got to keep it at a,
And I'm not going to
palatable
cheat
number.
anymore. Yeah, I'm not going to like try to say 30 game names right now in rapid succession. I was tempted to, but I'm not going to.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
feel free to if you're curious, we will try to maybe we'll drop them. Maybe we'll drop them on our Board Game Geek Guild. We can kind of
Yeah,
drop some
I
seeds
think
of
that would
other
be
stuff we
good.
were looking for.
I think so.
So you can if we missed a game that you're super excited about, or if you have a question about any of the games that we brought up
Or
here,
recommendation even.
yeah, I like Mandy, you had games on your list that I completely just didn't even
Yeah,
see
same.
because there's so many games.
Vice
So
versa, yeah.
feel free to hit us up. You can always email us at saltandsassgames@gmail.com. And like I mentioned, I think it'd be fun to drop a few of our other, wish list
Yeah.
items in our Board Game Geek Guild. So that's boardgamegeek.com. We're Guild 4131. You can find us there and we'll start an episode thread and would love to see your Essen anticipation lists in there as well. So feel free to chime in.
Absolutely.
Or if you want to ask questions or chime in or give us some games that we missed, hit us up on social media, Mandy.
Yeah, we're on the socials, we're on the Twitch, we're on the YouTube at Salt and Sass Games. We're also on Twitter. Yeah, that's right. I said it, Twitter. And that's Salt and Sass Games. So there's no and. Salt and Sass Games. You can find me on a variety of platforms. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky. Anyway, if you are on some social media, look me up at 613 Mandi. That's Mandi with an I. And how about you, Suzanne?
I am also everywhere on the social medias as at 425 Suzanne. All right, that was one delightful game pie. Loved it, Mandy. Thanks so much for all of your great selections.
Me too.
As always, it's a pleasure and privilege to be here with you. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye, everybody. This episode was sponsored by Druid City Games, where player experience comes first. Check out all of their great games at druidcitygames.com.